It's been a few days since the last night, since the Wendigo circled the cabin, since the knocking, the whispers, and the darkness pressing against every wall. For a while I thought maybe we had survived, maybe it had moved on, maybe the rules still worked. But I was wrong. Wilson wouldn't leave my side. His eyes never stopped scanning the tree line, and his fur stayed permanently bristled. I could feel it, too. Something in the forest was still watching, waiting. The air had changed, thicker, colder, as though winter itself was sinking its teeth into the land. I kept myself busy repairing the cabin, stocking food, reading the rules, reciting them aloud again and again. But the forest didn't care. It didn't obey. It didn't forgive. A few nights ago, I saw movement at the edge of the woods. I thought it was a deer at first, but it moved wrong, like a human stretched too thin, with a faint yellow glow where its eyes should have been. I froze. It froze. Then it vanished. I knew it was the Wendigo. I knew I had seen it, and I knew it didn't chase. It waited. Last night was worse. The knocking didn't come first. The silence did, thick and suffocating, as if the air had been sucked out of the cabin. I lit every lantern, stacked chairs in front of the windows, and held Wilson close as he trembled uncontrollably. Then the whispers began, soft at first, indistinct like wind moving through dead leaves. But they grew louder, layered with voices, mine, my grandfather's, others I didn't recognize, pleading, laughing, warning, and beneath them all was the Wendigo, speaking through the voices, through the wind, through the shadows. Alan, come to us. Winter waits for you. I didn't move. I couldn't. I sat frozen with Wilson pressed against my chest as the voices clawed at the cabin until dawn. When morning finally came, the sun was pale and weak. The snow outside was untouched, no handprints, no claw marks. But the forest had changed. The trees seemed closer, the shadows deeper, the air thicker, and something watched from just beyond the clearing. I couldn't leave the cabin, not anymore. The property was barely safe. Crossing the threshold meant the forest would claim me, and crossing the wrong line meant facing more than just the Wendigo. Lately, I've started seeing things inside the cabin too. Small movements in the corner of my eye, reflections that aren't mine, shadows stretching longer than they should, doors creaking on their own, and always the whispers. Sometimes I catch shapes shifting in Wilson's eyes, not reflections, not shadows, something watching him, waiting for him. I can't sleep. Even with every lantern burning, the cabin feels wrong. The air hums with something I can't name, something ancient and starving. 2 nights ago, I forced myself to check the well again, hoping for answers or some sign I could still fight this. But the moment I leaned over it, the darkness inside didn't feel empty. It felt alive, moving, watching. And then the Wendigo emerged from the shadows of the trees. It didn't move fast this time. It didn't have to. It simply rose into view, impossibly tall, yellow eyes glowing in the frost, jaws slipping open as its claws dug into the frozen ground. It was patient, hungry, furious. I didn't run. I couldn't. It tilted its head as if studying me, and I realized this wasn't just hunger. It was learning, watching my fear, testing how far it could push me. I touched the wooden cover of the well, feeling the grooves and splinters. The darkness below shifted in response, like something had noticed my presence. The air hummed, the wind whispered, the trees groaned, and I felt a deeper hunger than the Wendigo's, winter itself. That night, Wilson growled at an empty corner until his voice cracked. I didn't see what he saw, but I felt it, something else lurking inside the cabin. The whispers returned, layered and furious, and inside them I heard a new voice, a child's, soft, pleading. "Alan, come play." I froze. Wilson barked, but it wasn't enough. The voice sounded close, too close, inside. I backed against the wall as the cabin seemed to shrink, the shadows stretching, the air turning colder. The property wasn't safe anymore. The rules weren't enough. The Wendigo waited outside the clearing, Something else waited inside, and winter didn't forgive curiosity. I don't know how long I stayed huddled in the corner, hours, maybe days. Time has lost all meaning. Every creak of the cabin, every flicker of the lantern, every whisper from the walls reminds me I'm not alone. I'm being hunted, and I know it's coming. Not tomorrow, not the next night, but soon. I've survived so far, but I feel it in my bones. The darkness isn't just outside the cabin anymore. It's inside me, and I'm not sure I'll survive the next time it comes.